All right, free speech zones now seeing a spike on college campuses nationwide, but Florida now moving to combat this trend with a new bill that would outlaw these restrictive zones.
That's right, and here now with more is one of the men behind the bill, Florida State Senator Dennis Baxley. Thank you for joining us this morning. Explain the bill to us. Explain what you're hoping to accomplish.
Yes, well, we're taking a stand for freedom, and we certainly want to push back against this idea that free speech is limited to some special zone or restricted area. Free speech is a constitutional right that we want to protect and foster, and that doesn't mean we don't respect that a lot of things that happen aren't really free speech. That doesn't approve rioting. It doesn't approve attacking other people or destroying property. We've got to learn how to have civil conversation, and certainly at our universities should be a place where everyone experiences free speech, and we don't have to protect people from hearing something they might disagree with.
Well, sir, let me try to get an explanation here on the verbiage of this, because it doesn't make a good headline to say that you want to outlaw free speech zones. But what you're trying to do is protect free speech by outlawing these zones, which you say, I guess, silences speakers at universities if a conservative speaker wants to come on and they get shunned out by something like a free speech zone. So really, it almost would make more sense to say that you're trying to promote free speech here. You're not trying to outlaw free speech. It just doesn't. It just sounds different, right?
Well, we're really taking a specific issue with this idea that free speech should be limited to certain zones. And that very idea is in conflict with the concept of free speech. Free speech applies wherever we are, and we shouldn't fear debate. And we've got to learn how to have civil discourse again. And of all places, certainly, our colleges and universities need to embrace this. And I think overall have done a good job here in Florida. They've had some controversial visits, and they've handled them well and shown that we can have free speech. We don't have to have violence, but people have got to learn that this is a right that must be protected, and we've got to keep freedom alive if we're going to be the prosperous nation we're designed to be.
So there are 20 states with free speech bills. 7 of those states it has passed. 13 it has been introduced. You're taking a look at the map right now. What do you fear having free speech restrictions on college campuses to these impressionable students could do to them later in life?
Well, it's just not how the real world functions. There is a constant competition of ideas in our culture, and that's the strength of liberty. And one of the things that I choose to protect are those basic things of life, liberty, and the freedom of speech is essential to keep that alive. So to take the approach that we're going to deal with troublesome conflicts by just restricting them to tight zones is unacceptable. America's not the kind of country where you're told where you can speak your mind.
All right. Well, State Senator Dennis Baxley from Florida, thanks so much for coming on this morning, and we'll see where this goes.